guys, Fly Girl VSG coming into you with my week 52 post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy VSG update, post-op update. So I cannot believe it's been 52 weeks. In like 2.5 weeks it'll be my 1-year surgery. That is so crazy. This year has gone by super slow and super fast, like at the same time. When I think about all my travel that I've done and other things, like it's gone by really slow. Like I've done so much, but like in terms of other things, it's gone by so fast. Like, how did this even happen? It's so crazy. Lots of things I wanted to talk to you about today. I'll just jump right into the numbers. I started the 2-week pre-op diet on, I think it was actually November 21st, 2013, at 301.2. I weighed in day of surgery at 291.8. I weighed in last week at 197.2. I weighed in this week at 197.6 for a 0.4 pound gain. And that is a 1.6 pound gain since 2 weeks ago. So my lowest weight so far is 196.0, I think. 199, 196. So, I'm at 197.6 for a total loss since the 2-week pre-op diet of 103.6 pounds. So I'm still under 200. I'm still over 100 pounds lost. So I'm not too freaked out, especially when I get to some measurement things I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But I ate like shit last weekend. I did not drink, but which I blame on everything. I blame every bad thing on drinking. Not that I drink a lot lately, but I feel like this is too long. I should fix this. Anyway, so I ate really poorly. I went to the movies Friday night and I ate a bunch of candy, and that started a whole weekend of eating candy. There we go. That's a little better. Nope, I didn't even. So I ate like a whole bag of dollar store Smarties. I ate like an entire 6-pack of fun size Crunch bars. Not cool. I had like 3 packs of peanut M&Ms, like fun size, you know, like the fun size M&Ms like this. Like popcorn. I don't even know what that was about, but it happened. It is what it is, and I picked myself right up on Monday, and I've been doing fine. I've still been eating a little bit over what I would like to eat calorie-wise. I've been grazing, and I feel like some of that has to do with the fact that I changed my estrogen level. God, this video is so orange. You guys notice that? Anyway, I guess I'm in the 70s today. I'm doing it 70s style. Some that's techno, that's not disco. I feel like orange is like, you know, in the 70s where the photos were all orange. Anyway, dog, squirrel. Wah! I'm the dog, that's the squirrel. Everything else. Anyway, it's going to be a long video if I keep doing that. So, my estrogen, I think I talked about this last week. Like, I changed my birth control to increase the estrogen a little bit to help try to reduce the spotting, which so far has not helped because I've spotted twice this week. Luckily, only for 1 or 2 days instead of for like an entire week. So maybe it is helping, but in doing that, I have been grazing right around from like 2 or 3 in the afternoon all night until I go to bed. So I have switched and someone suggested that I start taking the birth control at night. So that's what I've started to do. It has helped a little bit. The problem with me is once I get into the habit of grazing, then I'm constantly in that mind frame of like, what can I put in my mouth next? I still have restriction, which is good, but you know, with Slayer foods, chips and dip and things like that, that's kind of the stuff I've been grazing on. So I gotta get that shit pounded out. Another thing I haven't talked too much about in general over the last several months, but is really starting to bother me about a side effect of the surgery is my hair loss. I had been taking biotin since about 3 months pre-op, so I really thought that that it wasn't going to affect me that much because, you know, from what I understand in a lot of people's videos and a lot of people's Facebook pages, like, hair loss affects everyone differently, but I noticed a general theme of it hitting anywhere between month 2 or 3 and going till month 6, 7, or 8. I didn't start losing hair until 6.5 months out. And it was slow at first, and then it's just been progressively. I've probably lost half to 2/3 of the volume of my hair. And you can't tell, I have it in a bun today because I'm going to the hairstylist, but like this little tiny bun here, like that little tiny thing is normally like that. And so like my ponytail is like this big around when normally it's like this big around. That's a big difference. Like I can normally wrap a hair tie around my hair 2 or 3 times. Now it's 3 or 4 times for it to be tight in my hair. So I'm going to go get my hair cut and colored tonight. We'll see. I mean, I don't want to do anything too drastic cut-wise. You can't see the hair loss in my scalp at all. It's just, you can feel that it's thinner when you do something with it. Like, I can't do a bun as easily as you can tell because it's, like, really just, like, this thing. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's going down a little, like, it's slowing down a little bit, but I don't have any new growth. You know, I don't know where to expect it. I don't know where I've lost it, but, like, most people say that that they have new growth when it starts to come in, and I don't have that yet. I'm eating between 65 and 100 grams of protein a day, depending on the day. I think 63 or 65 is my goal right now, based on my nutritionist goals. So, we'll see how that goes. But someone said to add my protein, but my protein's adequate for sure. So we'll see. Let's see. Should be eating, hair loss, birth control, grazing. These are my notes. I also decided I got a wild hair last week, and I was like, I'm going to do a bunch of paleo baking, which basically means baking or making food that doesn't have sugar or grains or refined processed things. So I usually make fudge, and I have a fantastic fudge recipe, but it is hydrogenated bad for you. I love it. I make it. Everyone loves it. However, it is bad for you. And most people I know in my life are trying to eat better, are trying to be healthier. So I don't necessarily know that it's helpful for me to provide them with a tin of fudge that is full of hydrogenated bullshit, even though it's amazing. So I was like, I'm going to try coconut oil fudge. I'm going to make pumpkin bars. I'm going to make paleo thin mint cookies. All this stuff. Sorry, I spit out a chia seed and then I ate it off my hand. That just happened. So, so I made some coconut oil fudge and I made some pumpkin bars. Those are the 2 things I made because I'm going out of town this weekend and I didn't want to have a bunch of stuff sitting around. So, while I was away. So I figured I'd make the other things next week. But the coconut oil fudge was fucking disgusting. I love cooking with coconut oil. I put coconut oil on my face, in my hair. I don't use it that often, but I mean, I do cook with it often. And I put it in stuff. But having a fudge that's mostly coconut oil, it tastes really coconutty, and it's... Kent loves it. He heats it and makes chocolate milk out of it. Good for him, honestly. I'm glad someone's doing something with it, because to me, it tastes fucking foul. The pumpkin bars were good, but I made like a vanilla, like frosting that goes with it, without a coconut oil, and vanilla extract, and something else. It was disgusting. I mean, the bars were good, but the frosting, I scrape the frosting off every time because it's disgusting. So I don't think the paleo holiday baking is going to help. I mean, the thing is that paleo baking is really good for cookies and really good for cakes, and obviously, like, maybe the bars, but not for things like fudge. They're just not. It's just not. So that idea is going south. I'm going to try a couple other things, but I don't have a lot of faith. Plus, it's really expensive to buy a bunch of coconut oil and almond flour and all those things, and then try to cook and make tins for like 10, 15 people. I'm just not sure it makes sense. I mean, as much as I'd like to perpetuate that forward, I may just end up making, snickerdoodle cookies and fudge. So, sorry. There's my interesting neck. I'm bending over. I'm having terrible posture in this video right now. Okay, so... I wanted to talk to you today about all the NSVs that I've had in the last week. They seem to be piling up. Like, I think a lot of people call me out on my NSVs before I call them out. Like, I don't really notice them as NSVs. I guess maybe I'm trying to be humble, or just like I'm not giving myself enough credit, maybe. I'm not sure. Like, trying not just to be on the DL, on the down low. But it seems like I'm noticing them more and more instead of having them be pointed out to me by someone else. So I went to a party Saturday night, and these were people I hadn't seen in at least 6 months to 2 years, like a long time. And everybody was like, I mean, except for the host, who I see all the time, but, you know, his friends that were there were just like, you know, didn't even recognize me. So when they came into the party and I smiled at them from across the room, they smiled at me, but it wasn't until I approached them later that they were like, I saw you sitting on the couch, but I didn't even know that was you. And I was just like, oh. And then one of them, who I'd seen since surgery, I had lost, you know, 50 pounds or something, but I've lost another 50 pounds, and my whole body composition has changed. She actually looked at me like, so funny. She actually looked at me like she was kind of disgusted. Like, I can't even really pretend to do, it was like like a mixture of shock, and I can't do it because I'm smiling because I'm thinking of her face. And she was just like, what the fuck is happening to you? But like in a good way. Like she, it was just funny. Sorry. It was just funny. And, you know, I try not to play it up too much. And I'm just like, thanks, you know, and move on. But, yeah, and I thought I looked really great that night. But Howard, my best guy friend who hosted the party, he took a candid photo of me while I was karaoke, because he had a karaoke party. He has a karaoke system at his house. And he posted a picture of me while I was singing, and I was like, oh no, like I have so much more work to do. The dress was too big in my defense, and you could see it. But, you know, I just wonder if my legs are ever going to stop being tree trunks. My friend, my very good friend Nicole, she told me that my calves looked fantastic, and you know, I don't look at my calves because they're behind me, right? So, like, I don't really look at my legs. I only see what I see in front of me, and they're still really my biggest. It used to be my arms, honestly, and my arms are still, like, the least favorite part of me because they don't fit into medium shirts, and they don't fit into things, and it's like I have a ton of loose skin and stuff like that. That's really driving me crazy. However, my calves and things like that, like, I may not ever be able to really help that. Like, I have really wide calves and really muscular calves, and I don't think that losing weight is going to help that a ton. I mean, it's helped it some, for sure. I definitely have legs and ankle definition, and I have knees, like, the fat roll around my knee is still there, but it's less, you know, things like that. So, anyway, I don't want to go on for like 50 minutes, so I'm just going to keep going. So it was just weird. It was just, it was funny. Before that, on Saturday, I had run a bunch of errands, and I had gone to Costco, and I ran into, I'm going to try to make this short, I ran into old friends of my mom's. From when my brother, by the way, is 26, from when my brother was in, like, middle school, like, old friend, in elementary school, so, like, long time ago. So I haven't seen these people in, like, 10 years, or longer, like, a long time. And, they didn't recognize me at first, which I get all the time. But they did. They recognized me before I had to tell them who I was. And there was a couple, and he was closer to, the husband was closer to me than the wife. So I went to hug him first, and I kind of ran at him, because he's like 6'6", and he's like a big, you know, burly, handsome fella. And so I went and kind of ran up to him and went to hug him, and he lifted me up off the ground. I was just like, I mean, like, literally, I was in the best mood for days after that. Like, it made my year, the whole year. And that, I have to tell you, is the biggest NSV I've had so far. That, right there. Him picking me up off the ground. I was picked up off the ground by another human being. I wish you could hear the sounds coming from downstairs right now. Do you hear that? My boyfriend is downstairs singing. Or something. Oh my god, that's so funny. I can hear it because it's coming through the vent in the ceiling. Even though he's downstairs, like, the sound carries through the vent. Oh my god. I'm having the giggles today. So anyway, he picked me up, and then I hugged his wife, but I was so distracted. I was just like, I think I love you. Like, will you marry me? And so when I came home and I told Kent, he, you know, he was like, oh, and I said, well, you know, when I weigh as much as you, will you try to pick me up? And that's only like 12, 14 pounds. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And things with us are going very well, pretty well. So, I was like, you don't have to carry me, but you have to pick me up long enough to, like, throw me on the bed. or throw me on the sofa or whatever. Like, you just have to pick me up long enough for me to be off the ground for a few seconds. Like, it doesn't have to be a big deal. He hasn't tried yet. I don't know why. I think I don't know. Anyway, so that was amazing. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how amazing that was. Also, another huge NSV that I noticed is that this week, I've been suffering with some injury in my shoulders, both of my shoulders, but more so my right shoulder. And, you know, I've been doing some physical therapy stuff in regards to my neck as well. Like, I've lost some of the curvature in my neck, so I have to lay over this thing that's like this for like 20 minutes a day. It is, first of all, laying still for 20 minutes sucks. Second of all, it is not comfortable. So I've been trying to take good care of myself, and the other day, yesterday I took off from the gym, even though I really couldn't afford to in terms of the 12-week weightlifting challenge, but I did. And so I'm just trying to take it easy on the lifting and stuff. But side note is I realized last week that I wasn't really doing enough cardio. Like, in the beginning of this challenge, I was also doing the Warrior Room, kettlebell, I was also doing bar and Insanity, and I had some Groupons that I was using. Those Groupons expired, I've used them up. So now I'm just doing cardio at the gym, or like a class 1 day a week, or like a video. Mostly not that much cardio. I'm probably doing less than 1 hour of cardio a week. But I'm doing like 4 hours of lifting a week. So, you know, I'm trying to add more time in on the cardio machine before I go and lift. So I'm doing like 10 to 15 minutes on the Stairmaster every day as my warm-up. And because the treadmill, when I run, it jogs my neck a little bit, those discs, and my knee started to hurt. So I didn't figure, and I have a weird gait. I walk like this, but when I run or do jumping jacks, my feet go in a little pigeon toe, just slightly. And so I don't think that that's very good for my hips and knees. And, you know, I'm 36 years old. Like, I got to think about, I know I'm not 56 years old, but still, it's like I got to think about that stuff in terms of how that hurts me. And I'm really prone to that kind of stuff. So I stopped doing the treadmill as my warm-up and jumped on the Stairmaster. Now, when I first started doing the Stairmaster a long time ago, like at 290 pounds, 300 pounds, 275 pounds, I was at level 2 or 3 as my workout. Like, that was really, really hard for me. Now, level 5 or 6 is like the slow, feels like the same as a level 2 or 3 did back then. And that's amazing. Like, I have a heart rate monitor on it, so I'll be curious to see how that affects my heart rate. But I do like a speed increment. So like I do a minute at level 6 and a minute at, I don't even know what, like maybe an 8 or 9, and then a minute at 6 and a minute at 8 and a minute at 6 and a minute. So I'm doing kind of this interval, but not too intense, just to warm up, you know, just to get my heart rate up, get my blood pumping, sweat a little bit. Although I sweat way less now than I did before, so that's amazing. But that's amazing. Like, I'm super proud of that. Like, I mean, I know that that's, I don't know why I should be proud of that, but I am. You know, it's just easier to lift myself up the stairs, I guess, I think is what it is. Also, let's see, so I'm going on 18 minutes, so I don't want to talk too much longer. But I think going back to that photo that I was mentioning at the party on Saturday, like the difference between feeling really good and looking good, like I have a really hard time deciphering that. Like, I left the house feeling like I looked really good, and then I saw the photo and didn't feel like I actually looked really good, or I go out and everyone says I look really good, but I don't necessarily feel like I look really good. So trying to come to terms with that. I know there's been some discussion this week on Facebook in terms of not recognizing your before or after photos, or before in progress photos, and I certainly feel that way. When I look at my progress photos, I'm actually quite confused. I don't really know what to do with that. I don't recognize the person at 301 pounds, and I don't really recognize me now either. I don't think I fully, I mean, everyone says it'll come, and I hope that that's true, because I deserve to feel as small as people think I'm looking. But I also don't know. I think small is relative. Small compared to what I was before, absolutely. Small is in like, small? I don't know about that, you know? So, okay, I want to cover 2 more things. First of all, I want to show you my pants, because they're super cute. Let's see if you can see them. They're patterned pants. I feel very Lauren Dayton in these pants. How cute is that, right? Look at that. Oh, do you guys want to see my new party trick? Okay, let's see. See if you can see it. Okay, you gotta wash my tushy. Can you see my butt doing that thing? Is that weird? I can't stop doing it. So I was like, oh my god, my bum is so saggy. So I flexed my muscles and I have like the perfect ass. And I'm like, oh my god, if only I could walk around with my butt muscles flexed all the time. I think it would be painful and obviously super distracting. But when I flex, then it's like I have the nice tushy instead of like the loose skin stuff. So anyway, the only other thing I wanted to tell you is, so I just am finishing week 8 tomorrow with the 12-week weightlifting challenge that I've been talking to you guys about. And I did my measurements today, even though it was a day early, just because I'm leaving town tomorrow and I'm going to be busy tomorrow night. So I started the 12-week weightlifting challenge on September 29th at, I think it was 201.6 pounds. So I'm at 197.6 pounds. So in 8 weeks, I've only lost 4 pounds, but I started at a size 16. I'm a size 12. Mostly. I mean, I'm not necessarily a size 12 in dresses for some reason. I think because of some of my skin and my arms. But I'm in a medium large shirt and my 14 jeans are definitely too big, and my 12s, I have one pair of 12 jeans that fit beautifully, and another pair of 12 jeans that fit perfectly. When I tried them on, came home and washed them because they were from Goodwill, and put them in the dryer. Now I can't get them on. So, you know, not every 12, obviously. I have lost in the last 8 weeks, so basically 1.5 pant sizes. I was in like a 14, 16-ish pant 8 weeks ago. I was wearing both 16 and 14s. Now I'm wearing both 14s loosely. I mean, they're really baggy in the butt. They're not in the thighs. They're not so much baggy in the waist. And do you guys hear that? I can't wait to watch this back to see if his singing comes. And in the last 8 weeks, I've lost 11.25 inches. And not to keep you guys any much longer, but I'm really proud of that, because the first 4 weeks I did not lose that many inches. Like, I lost like 2 inches. And so in the last 4 weeks, I've lost maybe I lost one. Let's see, I actually gained some inches. So I lost like 1.25 inches that first 4 weeks. And in the 4 weeks since, so finishing week, no, that's not true. I lied. From the first measurement on September 29th to the second measurement on October 24th, I lost 3 inches. But that means I've lost 8.25 inches in the last 8 weeks. So most notably, in my thighs, I've lost all over. I mean, my waist alone is like 36.5 inches now around my belly button. And that's not even your proper waist, because they say your waist is up here, and I've never measured that there. I've always measured around my belly button. It's incredible. Also, I lost a ton circumference from here. So just in my frame, you know. I'm going to also post some before and after photos in terms of my biceps, because you're going to fucking die. They're amazing. Seriously. Like, my arms now go, like, from my shoulder like this, bump, 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 bump. Instead of just kind of being like, oh, there's a little bump there, like, that goes, like, you can't really see it in my shirt, but it goes bump, 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 bump. So, okay, 23 minutes. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. I've been so good at keeping my videos short lately because I've not had that much to say, and this week I feel like I have so much to say. I have so much more to say, but I'm just going to save it till next week. I'll just keep you guys guessing. What? Anyway, I don't do shout-outs, so I won't, but I hope that everybody is doing really, really great. I will talk to you next week. It will be Thanksgiving, so I'll probably do my video the day before. Although I probably will weigh in still on Thursday. So we'll see. We'll see. I may do a Thanksgiving video. But I am super grateful for all of you, and you, and you, and you, and you, all of you, for your support and for subscribing and watching my videos and being my friends, if you're my real life friend and my online real life friends still. And, oh, and to make sure to like makingprogress.me on Facebook, because my blog posts will be posted there. So, The one where she loses 100 pounds is coming soon. The Andrea Mathis, who runs imperfectlife.net, she is having some technical difficulties with the website host. So once that gets solved, those will be up and posted again. I love you guys. Keep it fly out there. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week and weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.